So, one of the things that I've noticed a lot in people who are beginning to connect with the spirit, to be more of spiritual people, and also go into sacred scriptures, is that they tend to want to believe in a doomsday scenario, and that enhances their sense of having a purpose to save people and to save the world. So this is inherent to two archetypes combined together. One is the explorer, which is Sagittarius in the Zodiac, and the other one is the dreamer, which is Pisces in the Zodiac. I have a lot of both, so this is where I am. Um, but to me, and I have a little bit of reluctance here because that kind of exploration, especially in this into the spiritual, is very subjective. It's supposed to be highly subjective. But this is an archetype that can lead you to some sense of delusions of grandeur. That's the nature of this archetype because it is supposed to bring you back to the experience with a greater sense of purpose that is going to be much closer to you being closer to your spirit. Now, being spiritual and then with the connotation of dogma, which can be religion, for example. So let's add a little bit of beliefs that can lead to having a heightened sense of purpose that can be a little diluted and forceful in ways that can be problematic. Now, to be fair, I don't know that there is a formula that I can come up with or say or establish about how to use or express these archetypes because it would be in contradiction with the principle that it's just the way that you need to understand your experiences, to interpret them, and to figure out, what really is your purpose. That's what these two archetypes together are going to do for you. One of them is the interpreter of your experiences, and you need to have some kind of experiences in order to really explore intellectually or physically through physical exploration in the world of different cultures, traveling, and all of that stuff. That's the Sagittarius explorer archetype. That's the one that really wants to understand a lot of things and interpret things. And we all do that. We all create our own interpretations, even if we don't think that we believe in something. We have a theory of everything. We do that naturally all the time, and we make judgments about our own experiences, about what is happening in the world around us, based on that. And often we don't realize that what we are supposed to believe has no coherence or no congruence with the way that we live life, actually. So this is an aspect of this archetype where we need to adjust that and to figure out, the things that we interpret in our heads and from our experiences or, explorations that we do. We need to live according to the principles that we're supposed to believe in. So this is, a lot of people don't do that. Most of us fail a lot in that department, of course, because it's always a process of adjustment, of trying to connect, with principles of life and the things that you believe. But the concept, of being the savior of the world and the savior of people is very much of the archetype of the dreamer. The purpose of the archetype is actually to connect with your own spirit, to figure out a more true and more humble. It's supposed to really get rid of your ego. Not that you can get rid of your ego completely, but to sort of shave it off a little bit and come to a more simple or more humble experience in your everyday life to be a better human being. So when you're in that component of delusions of grandeur and saving the world and saving people, I think it's an experience that still needs to it's an experience of the archetype that still needs to go through some changes, some adjustments, because that's very of the ego to have a sense, the world is going to hell. Look at how everything is. Look at how the country has been lately, and now I have found faith, and we're going to save our families, the world, with the things that we believe. This is so typical, and we've seen that a million times. The world doesn't end, but it's because we need a heightened sense of purpose. And the ego is so strong that it's going to fabricate all kinds of stories, to give you that sense that your existence matters. And we need that. We need to have that, by the way. It's a natural thing. To have a sense of significance and purpose, we need that. It's a human need. But it can derive very easily into that kind of delusions.